He had been waiting at the corner of the park for nearly an hour, the sunlight casting long shadows across the cracked pavement beneath his worn wheelchair. The boy's hands trembled slightly as he tried to maneuver it, but the wheel was broken, wobbly, and useless. Each attempt to move forward only left him stuck, frustrated, and helpless. Can you imagine how it feels to be trapped in a chair that refuses to carry you, especially when all you want is to play with the other kids, to feel the wind on your face, and the freedom to run? This was Jacob's reality. A 10-year-old with bright eyes and a boundless spirit, held back only by the broken wheel of his wheelchair and the invisible walls built by circumstance. His family couldn't afford repairs, a modest home on the edge of town, bills stacking up, hope stretched thin. But what happened next would change everything in ways Jacob and everyone around him could never have expected. The morning air smelled faintly of fresh-cut grass and blooming flowers, the kind of day that invited laughter and play. Jacob's trio. Mom had taken him to the park hoping the fresh air would lift his spirits. But when the wheelchair broke, all joy seemed to vanish. That's when Michael, the local mechanic, noticed the boy struggling from across the street. Michael wasn't just any mechanic. He was a man with oil-stained hands and a heart even bigger than the toolbox he carried every day. He'd seen many, people in tough spots, cars that wouldn't start, engines that coughed and sputtered. But something about Jacob's broken wheelchair tugged at him deeper than any stalled engine ever had. Without a word, Michael crossed over and knelt beside the wheelchair. "Hey there, buddy," he said softly, wiping grease off his hands. "Looks like you've got a bit of trouble here." Jacob's eyes flickered with a cautious hope. "Can you fix it?" he whispered. Michael smiled, the kind of smile that speaks volumes of kindness and patience. "Let's see what we can do." The park sounds, children laughing, birds chirping, a distant bark of a dog, felt like a backdrop to this quiet moment of connection. Michael's fingers worked quickly yet carefully as he examined the wheel. It was old and worn out but repairable. "I'm going to take this to my shop," he said. "Don't you worry, I'll get you rolling again in no time." Jacob's face lit up, hope blooming like spring after a long winter. The promise of kindness, unasked and freely given, wrapped around him like a warm blanket. Michael loaded the wheelchair into his van and promised to return soon. Days passed, and Jacob couldn't stop thinking about the mechanic's generosity. Then one afternoon, just as the sun was beginning to dip behind the rooftops, Michael rolled Jacob's wheelchair into the park, fully fixed and gleaming as if brand new. The wheel spun smoothly, ready to take him anywhere he wanted to go. But that wasn't all. Standing beside Michael was a man in a tailored suit, eyes sharp but kind, carrying himself with the unmistakable presence of someone who held great power. Jacob's mother stood frozen in surprise, mouth open. The man smiled gently and bent down to Jacob's level. "I'm David," he said, voice calm and reassuring. "Jacob, I'm your dad." For years, Jacob had wondered about his father, an absence that shaped his world silently but deeply, and here he was, not just showing up but standing humbly beside the man who had repaired Jacob's wheelchair. David explained that he had been away, caught in the whirlwind of a demanding life, unaware of how much he was missing. But Michael's simple act of kindness had opened a door, a bridge that brought him back. The park seemed to hold its breath as father and son locked eyes. Tears welled in Jacob's eyes, not of sadness, but of joy, of a new beginning. "Welcome home, Dad," he whispered. Michael watched quietly, knowing that sometimes the smallest acts, an afternoon spent fixing a broken wheel, can change the course of a life. As the sun set behind the city skyline, the three walked slowly, out of the park together, a family reunited by kindness and hope. Now imagine if that simple act, helping a boy with a broken wheelchair, could inspire you to look for ways to make a difference in your own community. Kindness costs nothing but means everything. Have you ever experienced a moment where someone's kindness changed your world? Share your story below, because every act of kindness creates ripples far beyond what we see. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe for more inspiring tales. And don't miss our next video. where hope blooms in the most unexpected places. Because sometimes, the greatest journeys start with a single, kind step,